Good morning, everyone. My name is High Priestess Ishera. Today, I felt like coming on here and getting into some Bible angels. There's two angels two types of angels in particular that I would like to talk about. But first, let's go through the nine different angels. Now, we have the Seraphim, who are considered the highest of the high angels. And within this video, we are going to speak about two of the angels, which is Seraphim and Cherubim. But I wanted to go through the nine different types of angels that they are. Warning and uh, what's it called? Warning. This information that I'm giving you here is from the information that I've studied. And when I study, I take the perspective within the most important thing of my life, which is the awakening, my awakening. And I see how it ties in with what I'm learning at the moment. So today we're going to talk about angels because we hear a lot about angels in the Bible, but instead of reading the Bible as a storybook like most people, I utilize the Bible to help me comprehend the very major spiritual property that happens within each individual soul when it comes to the awakening, when it comes to personal ascension. So my perspective on Seraphim and Cherubim is specifically correlated with how I utilize knowing about Seraphim and Cherubim and how Seraphim and Cherubim can help me within my awakening. But first, let's do the nine different angels in the Bible, which is considered the God. Oh yes, warning and disclosure. Most of my information I received for this circle of love, Seraphim and Cherubim, or I should say cherubim, because I consider myself a cherubim, and seraphim, um, it's a lot of religious, rhetoric lies and bullshit. So I take the information that I received from several outlets of religion and I sifted what I wanted to share and what I didn't want to share. So please don't get upset if you don't agree or don't comprehend what I'm saying when it comes to the esoteric explanation of seraphim and cherubim from my perspective. Again, this is my perspective, and as a high priestess, I see things differently. Okay, wait. As a high priestess, I tend to register things a little bit differently from other people. So this is my perspective, and my perspective only. You can agree or disagree with it. Feel free to take the information and do what you want with it. Okay, so now the highest of the high angels from the Bible is the seraphim. And then the second group of angels are the cherubim. And then the third group of angels are, they call them the thrones. And if you want to know about more about these different, oh, stop. If you want to know about the specifics of these different angels, please feel free to Google it, maybe. There's also another group of angels called the Dominos, and there's another group of angels called the Virtues, and there's another set of angels called the Powers, and then there's another set of angels called the Principality angels. And of course, then we have our archangels. A lot of Catholic people follow a couple of the archangels. Saint Joseph, if I'm not mistaken, is one of them. I could be wrong. And then we have the regular angels. Okay? Today's video is going to be talking about two specific angels, which are the Seraphim and the Cherubim. And I feel that they're pertinent to the point where I felt like I had to make a video about it, is because I believe the Seraphim and the Cherubim, whereas religion is utilizing these two angels as representations of actual etheric beings near God, I look at it as a perspective of a very key information that is being shared to me within a doctrine full of documents, within a doctrine, within within a doctrine full of documents that was wrote from the start to share mystical belief. But when the Jews got their hands on the documents, they changed it into a story that fits within the confines of religion that keeps my people safe. But this video is going to share how the message from the Bible of Seraphim and Cherubim are actually stages of your awakening, of your enlightenment. Let's talk about Seraphim. I want to start with those group of angels first. Now, you have to keep in mind that the seraphims in the Bible were the most highest of the high angels when it came to God in all the stories it has within the Bible regarding God. And one in particular, they speak about how the seraphim angels were appointed, were registered at, should say, were positioned at each corner of God's throne. Okay? Now, let's talk about what seraphims look like. Okay, but first, before we talk about what seraphims look like, let's talk about the etymology of the word seraphim. Is it raining? It was just sunny outside just a minute ago. Okay. Seraphim. Let's talk about the etymology of seraphim. Now, if you look into the etymology, for people who don't know what etymology is, it's the word in the dictionary that explains the meaning, the root meaning of the word, and not necessarily the meaning of the word. That's etymology. And the etymology is burning one, is phoenix, is snake. This is the etymology of seraphim. And I feel the correlation of seraphim and cherubim is like a process of the rapture that we go through as individuals who search for the that search for the climax of our lives when it comes to this ascension. Okay? Now, what did the seraphims look like? Well, the seraphims had 6 wings. 2, 4, 6. And the 2, they specifically, from what this is, training super hard. Okay, the two wings on the top. Now, this is from what the Bible says, which is a derivative of what the mystics wrote, which the Jews stole, which then religion, the Vatican stole and utilized it for its own good. So it's been transpired through many hands. So be careful when you're looking into the Bible for information, because to be honest with you, as a high priestess, I know that the Bible should be used more as a symbolic reference, more so than a literal reference that most religious people regard it as. The cherubim had two wings on top, which covers up their faces, and then they have two wings on two wings on, which looks like this. Two wings on the side, which cover their hoofed feet. Seraphims have hoofed feet, so you can tell they're kind of anime type characters. And then they have two wings, which I believe is the middle, which they use to fly and protect God. Oh, my baby is out there. My baby went to go drop off his play dates, and he's gonna get stuck in the rain. Okay, he'll be safe. Matter of fact, he is safe. And two wings to fly. Now, keep in mind the role of the seraphims. These were the fire guardians of God. These were the snake fire guardians. If you can imagine, if you will, a snake in the middle with wings. The reason I said that, because if we go a little bit further back, we can see, or you can see if you look into it hard enough, that within Egyptian time, before Jesus, they had hieroglyphics of a snake with wings. Snake with wings. And that within itself was a representation of the seraphim. Okay? Again, a lot of people think seraphim are actual beings that fly around and help God. We're talking about etheric, anime type character energies. And these were the energies that were considered guardians. Now, these are the light energies, the seraphims. These were the light angels. They call them angels in the Bible. I call them energies. These were the light energies within this awakening path, within this God path to self-supremacy. And the cobra within the Egyptian time, again, is really connected to the seraphim energy. Now, you can see a lot of these references in the Bible in Isaiah and Revelations if you want to look into it. I don't have specific points, but a lot of the information I receive regarding the looks and the names come from specific Bible passages. Now, the seraphim, to wrap it all up, for the seraphim is, in my eyes, I consider the seraphim a process that enlightened people go through when they're ascending into their higher self. And this process, I call it the preparing of the vessel. The preparing of the vessel. And the preparing of the vessel is just that. In our lives of the awakening, we learn some things, and then we learn to relearn some things, then we learn to heal some things, then we learn to grow for some things. And usually things that we're growing from, a lot of the times they hurt. A lot of the times they're painful. But like the power of the seraphim, the snake flying angel, we have to learn to burn off some of the pain, the hurt, the the dis-ease of self. Because only when we do that, we are able, one, to keep our chakras aligned, and two, to ascend as high as you can go. Okay? Now let's talk about the cherubim. The cherubims are the, and I consider myself a cherubim. The cherubims are the second level angels of the heavens, or shall I say, of the cosmos. I heard someone say, "Come on with it, Ishera." I consider the cherubims the glory of God. I consider cherubims the ark of the covenant. Google these words if you don't understand. Um, there's great videos out there to explain what these are. And the last word I can consider, because I like to do things in three, is I consider the cherubims God's vehicles, God's limousine vehicles. Yeah, they do the chariot thing in the Bible. In the Bible, they say how the cherubims are the chariots of the gods. The vehicles, like how the Merkaba is our vehicle porter to ascend into planes and into dimensions and into the astral realm and into astral traveling and all of that. Just like your personal Merkaba, which is run by your motor engine called the chakra, I believe the cherubims are what the cosmos call God's limousine vehicle. And there was an artist named Raphael, and he has this beautiful white man picture of two young white kids, one like this, and then they have another one looking up like that. And then they have wings in the back, and it's two kids looking up like that, and one looking up like that. It's a beautiful white people picture. It's really, really pretty. And under the name of the picture, it says cherubim. So Raphael Raphael decided in his artistic representation of the cherubim, he decided to reflect the cherubim as two infant children. But then, as time went by, people realized that the representation of the children is more so a metaphor more than the fact that the angels in heaven are actually children with wings. The cherubim has like a very pure, childlike energy flow with that energy. Because remember, it's all cherubim and seraphim, I feel, are not actual angels. I feel like they're energy forces within the universe, within the cosmos. And these are levels that you have to reach, I feel, to ascend to certain levels within your ascension, depending on how high you want to go. Because there's different levels. Each person's ascension will be different. So the reason why I believe that I'm a cherubim, because you'll see something that correlates with all my videos. And my main goal with my crusade when it comes to opening the closed eyes of the sleeping society of this low frequency realm is to let them know that everything religious and everything they live through and everything they experience is all connected to the ether realm and to their walk, to their self walk of enlightenment. And I try my best to teach people the signs, the signs of how they can be aware of the changes you go through within this walk. My name is High Priestess. I've been walking behind the veil since I was birthed. Been talking to spirits and ghosts since I was a child. Been sleeping with ghosts since about 16. Been performing magical works for people for about 2 decades now, and for myself. And still, I'm in this walk, and still, I'm learning and growing, because you learn really quick that even being a master in some things, as a master, you know that you're always a teacher, that you're always a student, always learning. Because even within my kids, within my students, within my clients, I'm teaching myself things every day of every moment on many different levels. So I want to help teach you to know how to know, like, who you are and what levels you are and what energies you are that stay close to you. Because you should know, as a spiritual being, you have a lot of energies around you that guide you, and their main goal is to teach you to tap into your body. All right. Now, I had a past life, you guys, of a moment in time during the biblical times of the Tower of Babel time, during the Babylonian times. And within that time frame, and from what I know about that life in general, the Babylonians were of a society, a group of people, a society that what the Bible called, because again, most of my references are from the Bible for this topic, for this circle of love. But most of the deities that they prayed to in Babylon were what the Bible called devil deities. Okay? And the only reason they were called devil deities because back in the Babylonian time, the Babylonian time, we prayed to a woman god. Okay? Stop talking in first person, Ishera. I'm sorry. They prayed, because I'm not in that life no more. They prayed to a female god. Okay? And because they prayed to a female god, the rest of the land that was praying to a male god considered them wrong. They were a very open society. In Babylon, they had sex freely. In Babylon, they drank freely. They weren't they weren't hindered with a lot of the earthly stuff. They did what they wanted and they enjoyed it. But it wasn't easy living in Babylon. It wasn't easy living in Babylon because there was a lot of debauchery, a lot of fuckery that went down. But when they praised their gods to the fullest with gold, with gold, with calf heads, which is basically a representation of Baphomet, which we all know is a hermaphrodite, male and female anime entity that they pray to. Okay? So know that the cherubim, oh, I didn't tell you about the cherubim etymology. Okay, the cherubim etymology is Karibu, Karibu. And Karibu comes from the, oh my God, baby, are you okay? You got soaked out there? Go change your clothes, okay? Oh my God, and dry yourself really good. You put the bike under the garage, right? All right, are you okay? Oh my God, you're so. I bet you it was fun though. Shoot, I want to run out there. All right, was Caribou, and on the walls of the Egyptian temples and murals, they show you a picture of another mixed creature of human and animal mix aiming this way, and he has his wings and a face of a man and wings to represent a animal. So that within itself correlates with the cherubim. Now, I haven't spoken about what the cherubim looks like. Let me tell you what the cherubim looks like. Now, the cherubim had four faces. Okay, had four faces. One was an ox. One was, I know this. One was an ox. One is an eagle. One is a human face, and one is a lion. You know how I remember from remembering the pictures that I studied from, not the written name, but the pictures. One was an ox, one was a lion, one was a human being, and the other face was a lion. Now, the cherubim, look at this box. One face was an ox, another face was a man. Another face was um, the eagle, and then another face was the ox, eagle, and lion. So you have to imagine these four faces going north, south, east, west, and they were on one head. Okay, they were on one head, the cherubim. Okay, but the feet of the cherubim were calf feet. Okay, quick note. I think I said the seraphim had calf feet. I believe the seraphim have human feet because they're more human than anything. And if they're not in human form, they're in snake form. So no calf feet on the seraphim. I think I made a mistake earlier. But within the cherubim, they have calf-footed feet. Calf-footed feet. And what makes, I think, cherubim, I guess, a little bit different from seraphim, just different. Again, they're all the same, but it's just different levels. I feel like the cherubim had God's favor. Like, like the cherubim can never do no wrong. It's yes, 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 yes. When it comes to the cherubim never gets no from God. But if you want to tap into your cherubim energy, because again, the reason why I'm doing this video is to share with you that seraphim and cherubim are more than just angels. They are the levels to your evolution. And you can tap into these, what Bible calls energy, what I call etheric levels of energy exchange. You can tap into these energies and utilize them for your own self supremacy. Okay? Again, you have to be open to reach the level of cherubim. You have to, your heart chakra has to be super fucking open to fly like a cherubim. Because to fly like a cherubim is like hitting magnetic walls in both the north and south direction and feeling an orgasmic level of energy being released all at the same damn time and being able to call that energy whenever you want, whether you're brushing your teeth, washing your face, taking a shower, walking, driving a car. Okay, Okay. Okay. Quick story time. All right. I'm having fun. Quick story time. As a high priestess, when I meditate on multiple levels. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you will go through a cherubim moment to a seraphim moment to a cherubim moment to a seraphim moment to a cherubim moment to a seraphim moment, all simultaneously, like a firecracker. Pop, 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 pop. And again, these are energies that can reverberate through your ether, through your essence. And without sharing too much of my private affairs, I remember an occasion when I purposely started a meditation. Okay, while I was driving, okay, I didn't think that it would be dangerous to meditate and drive. Because I know how to reach my levels and I know how to pull back and I know how to fly up. But I'm learning with this high priestess walk of mine that sometimes when you hit that magnetic floor, if you hit the magnetic floor starting from the bottom and from the top, and they slap together at the same time, and then they move at a frequency that's so hard that it's like a highway. Okay, literally, you guys. I kid you not. I was on the highway, and long story short, I started a quick meditation because I was just feeling too good not to. I started the meditation and I could not stop it. I really could not stop it. And every time I tried to wind it back and stop it, it just kept on going and it kept on going. And that's what I've learned about your spiritual walk, because when you're dealing with that cherubim energy, that magnetic floor, woo, woo, hit all the chakras, woo, woo, have you feeling like you flying on top of the world. You will feel, if you're not, well, not that you will feel, you will feel, yes, you will feel many things, because literally, long story short, I had to stop my car in the middle of the highway. Okay, Ishera, why did you have to stop your car in the middle of the highway? Because my meditation got so deep. And remember, you guys, I tried to stop the meditation. I did the cutoff word. I did the end of my mantra. I tried to stop the energy flow, and it wouldn't listen to me. It wouldn't listen to me. And it kept on going, kept on going, kept on going. And my eye, both of them was like going in and out of focus, and I was still driving. And not only my eyes kept on going in and out of focus, thank God I was by myself in the car, but my hands atrophy. Yes, you guys, you could fuck around and be so deep into your meditation that if you're not careful, your hands will atrophy. And yeah, I know it was my fault for starting a meditation while I was driving. Don't meditate and drive, you guys. Don't meditate and drive. Don't meditate and drive. Because okay, when you get into this self supremacy, God mindset, God body set, to be honest, I think you end up to a point to kind of be sadistic, because you really have to tap into the dark side. I feel when you're sometimes in your seraphim, when you're starting your seraphim energy change, and then when you fluctuate down into the cherubim energy changes, you go through a certain level of mastering pain. I feel there's a certain level of pain, and you have to go through that pain, because when you're burning off old ways, you're burning off the darkness, you're burning off the unwanted, you're burning off the what needs to be burnt off. Whatever does not survive after the burn is what you should be keeping. Okay, because if it burnt off, then it wasn't supposed to be there to begin with. Okay, so when you're burning off and reaching these levels of enlightenment, and you're abstaining from meat, and you're abstaining from sex, and you're abstaining from the low frequency thoughts, and you're abstaining from the low frequency thought forms that come at you, you get to a place where, if you're doing your due diligence and doing what you need to do, you get to a place where your body will not fucking play no games with you. Your body should be your biggest fucking team member. What I love about my ether is that when shit is not right, my body will tell me. Okay? My body will tell me. So know that when my hands atrophied at the wheel, I knew there was something wrong because I was getting lightheaded. My eyes was getting blurry and I could not move my hand. And one of my guys was like, "You about to have a motherfucking heart attack. You can't shake this shit." And I have to tell you, when you're going through these boosts of energies from the seraphim to the cherubim, you have to know that you cannot run from these energies. Okay, and these energies is about you, it's about your self-power, it's about balancing not only your chakras but your body systems. And if you're off, if you're angry, if you're not happy, then these are signs that your ether is trying to tell you that there is something wrong and it needs to be adjusted. So after I drove for a while, and I realized that this numb feeling was not about to go away, and that I felt like I was about to have a fucking heart attack. And I remember when I was driving, by the time I pulled to the side, my hands were still stiff in atrophy. And I pulled over and I couldn't breathe. And I was like, and I was doing my deep breathing, and I tried my deep breathing, but not even my deep breathing wasn't working. But it was a different type of energy. It was intense. It was a different type of energy. And I realized, I realized I went from fucking cherubim to seraphim, because I feel like the seraphim is like the healing energy. It's like the, I call it the diarrhea energy. It's the releasing of all that you don't need out of your ether, out of your body. And I was like, oh my God, I really thought I was going to die, you guys. I pulled over to the side on the highway, got out the car. When I got out the car, okay, I fell to the ground because I felt like I was doubled up over in pain. Like I felt all the pain down here, and I felt it over here in my solar plexus, and it was hurting. And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?" And I did some intervention meditation things that I do to get me right or whatever, and all of that wasn't working. You know what worked? I knew what was happening, so I went into position. Like, my oversoul was like, he's about to shit out all of this bullshit that's inside of you, right? And I was like, fuck, fuck. I was like, okay. So I immediately got into position. And the position I got into was, it's a yoga position. It's called, I don't know the name of that it's called, but it's when your legs are like in the squatting position and you're about to take a shit, or also when you're about to give birth, the natural way of giving birth. I got into that position all the way down. And I felt a release super, super quick. Super, super quick. As soon as I got and squat down into that position, and I put my head down and I started my deep breathing channels again, I started to feeling a little relief, but like, yo, I felt like I had to push. So I did my thing. I basically felt like I went through a healing on that highway. And I realized that you're going to go through moments of healing. and the healing is going to hurt. Because it didn't end there. Long story short, I went through a healing, then I went through a birth, then I went through a tribal ritual dance, and then I meditated for a minute, like a minute or so, before I got in my car back and drove off. Like I went through a lot. And I'm learning that when you learn how to siphon your energy, you are able not only to readjust yourself, but you're able to heal yourself. Then you're able to even deal with the pain that you need to go through to heal yourself. Because I went through it. Like I'm not talking about it because it's special to me, but I was in pain doubled over on the highway, pushing out what I feel is a lot of black energy that I have in my uterus. And to tell you the truth, you guys, I know where exactly it is. It's right here. It's right here in my uterus. There's some right here, but there's more dark energy on this side. But because I'm a high priestess, I know why I'm feeling that way. Like I know why I'm feeling that way. My solar plexus is fucked up. The only reason my solar plexus is fucked up is because I had a hyperumbilical hernia. So I was operated on my belly. And the way the doctor sewed me back up, my belly button has not looked the same since. So I know I have scar tissue around my solar plexus. So I have to constantly work on keeping my solar plexus clear because of the scars, the aftermath scars of the surgery of my umbilical hernia, because of my past, um, not abortion, I didn't abort it, miscarriage, my past experience with my miscarriage. And then on top of that, I deal with sexual youth trauma. Okay. And we tend to forget as individuals that the healing process is a very important process within tapping into yourself. It's very important. And a lot of people forget this step. And if you tap into your seraphim and cherubim energy, you can alleviate yourself from these pains. And you can do it all by your damn self. I've done it. I continue doing it. I continue on doing it. And I truly believe that when you learn to listen to yourself, when to hear yourself, when to know your body, because like my body is like my biggest team member. My body don't let nothing go by, nothing. It tells me. A lot of people's bodies tell them things and they don't hear the message. Oh, you got a crick in your shoulder. And instead of doing a couple of stretches to get that kink out, you complain about it and continue doing what you need to do. Your breasts are aching. And instead of just squeezing on your best to release the ache, you're like, oh, my breast hurt. Oh, I don't know what to do with it. There's a reason why your breast is aching. Your breast wants you to massage them, baby. Your breast wants you to massage them. So learn to listen to the messages that your body, that your energies is giving you. Because I feel your body should be your biggest cheerleading squad. Your biggest cheerleading squad. Now the cherubims come from the Mesopotamian, the Mesopotamian, and so like I said before, I feel like the cherubim is the energy frequency of the favor of God, the favor and the right timing of God. Because when you have the right timing and when you have God's favor, which is self supremacy, then you have all you need to acquire all that you desire and all that you want within your life. Okay? But again, you have to be open to the experience and you have to be ready to even ride out the parts that are very painful. Because when it comes to this self-mastery, to say that I am God is, you have to live it, you have to breathe it, you have to feel it, and you have to know how to do it, and do it on a consistent basis. Oh, there was one more thing I failed to mention regarding the cherubim, which I feel is another sign representation that I'm a cherubim. Cherubims not only have four different sides and four different faces and four wings, one here and one here, one here and one here, and they have hooves for feet, but they also have eyes all over their body. Oh, this was the best part. I'm glad I remembered it. They also have eyes all over their bodies. And this is again, all the information I received was from the Bible, was from what I got from the Bible. So this is references from the Bible. And they said the cherubim have eyes all over their body. And in my perspective, I feel as if the cherubim eyes all over the body is a representation of your whole etheric being. Oh, right over there. I put it over there so I won't lose it, either near the TV or on top of the dresser. If you don't see it, I'll get it for you in a minute. I'm almost done, babe. It's either near the TV or in the kitchen somewhere. The cherubim energy is so intense. What is happening when you're tapping into your cherubim energy, I feel, is when your magnetic energy floor and wall is moving at a god-like state. I think it's the best way. How can I explain the feeling? Because I'm a self-tantra master, so even with my twin flame, okay, I don't like sharing my twin flame experiences, but I have to explain it so you understand this energy exchange that you're experiencing when you're in God's vehicle. Okay? When you're in God's vehicle, all of the chakras I feel are vibrating times 27. You found it? Okay, good. When all of your whole chakra body, your 7 layers, your your chakra points, your layers, and because some people believe there's 112 chakras, I feel like all of them motherfuckers are on. All of them motherfuckers are on, and they're pulsating at such an intense rate that your magnetic floor and your magnetic crown is open and it's just fluctuating at an expedited rate. The best way I can explain the energy is when a twin flame or a twin soul of two different energies of the whole, when a twin flame who's a whole and a soul twin who's a whole come together and have physical sex together, and then they both fuck into the cosmos. And when I say fuck into the cosmos, that's just not fucking and ritualistically fucking, but fucking and on one accord is mentally thinking of the same thing, whatever that one thing is. And I feel that is the best way physically to explain the feeling you get when your magnetic floor and when you're, see, it's true to life. It's true for confirmation. Boom, the crystal came out my head. When your magnetic floor and your magnetic crown opens up at the same time, and you're fucking the cosmos within self energy vortexes. It's very intense, you guys. I'm gonna refer back to when I had like a rebirth. Like I literally almost died, you guys, on the highway. You don't understand. Like I couldn't control the car when I was having the epileptic seizure and my hands was in atrophy. Like I'm so glad I got to, I totally died in rebirth, yo. I died in rebirth because I pulled over to the side and it took a minute of squatting down for my hands and a lot of tribal movement to get my hands back alive again because I literally felt like my hands died for a minute. But long story short, as a seraphim or a cherubim, you need to be tapping into your energy. You need to be tapping into your God mind and God bodies. When you tap into your God mind and your God body, you're tapping into the ethers. You're tapping into behind the veil. And when you learn how to fuck the universe, you are God. You are God. And I truly feel that you are utilizing your vessel within a God mind, God body state of being. You're being that vehicle. You are that vehicle. You've used that vehicle, like in the Bible, the chariots. Again, it's metaphor, not literal, because the chariots is I believe is a metaphor for how you feel and the intense energy you are you are recycling when you tap into the cosmos. I've I've reached it with the twin flame. I've reached it with self-love. And you guys, I can't share with you enough on how strong it is. But what I've learned with this mastering of ascension is that you cannot be afraid of pain. Because when you're dealing with the seraphim energy and when you're dealing with the seraphim energy and when you're dealing with the cherubim energy, you can't be afraid to walk in the fire. You cannot be afraid to need out those pains within your etheric body, within your physical body. And I remember distinctly feeling the dark spots within my uterus, and I went to work at them motherfuckers. I didn't give a fuck. I was in the middle of the highway. I didn't give a fuck. I could have got a ticket or whatever, because Hawaii is really strict out here, and you can get tickets for being on your phone doing a live while crossing the street on a crosswalk with the crosswalk symbol allowing you to walk. It's illegal in Hawaii to be filming and crossing the street at the same time. I got a ticket for that once. So even with all of that going on around me, I stopped what I was doing and I focused on me. When it comes to this self mastery path, you have to be selfish, you guys. You have to be selfish and do the work and do the healing. Healing is a part of the ecstasy. You can't really feel the true ecstasy until you go through the pain. And the best reflection, the best reflection example I can give you is 50 Shades of Purple. No, that's not what it is. It's not 50 Shades of Purple. 50 Shades of Gray. That whole movie could have been about energy, but they made it about sex. But take what I'm telling you about the movie sex wise within your etheric ascension process, within your third eye, within your third eye process. In 50 Shades of Grey, Long story short, this woman had to face a lot of sexual situations with a man. Why? Because she signed a contract. When you get into these ether realms, you're signing contracts with energies on the other side by exchanging energies with them. So after she signed a contract with this wealthy guy who wanted to fuck her every which way but right, but every which way but right, she decided to take on that position on having sex with this man for as long as they decided to have sex with each other. And you see in the movie that there was a lot of things she didn't want to do. There was a lot of things that she was scared of. There was a lot of things that she thought was sadistic and didn't want to fuck with. But she did it. Why did she do it? Because she didn't get into, well, I guess you could say she got into her cherubim body. She got into her cherubim energy. But she faced every fear that she needed to face. And literally, it continued on until both entities fell in love with each other and wanted to be with each other because they were sharing so many deep sexual moments with each other. Okay? So, long story short, don't be afraid to heal and to tap into your pain and to banish that pain, make that pain go away. You can heal. You can pay someone to do it, or you can do it your damn self. And on that note, I'm going to end this video. My name is High Priestess Ishera, and this has been another Circle of Love, Seraphim and Cherubim, the energies that can help you with your awakening. See you next time in my next video, you guys. This has been another one. Oh, Ishera's. What? Ishera's world. See you next time. Tee-hee.